Hey, welcome back. I am Trent Cotton with iSIMS, and I'm joined by...
Adam Stokar from Talent Llama.
Yeah, we're going to talk about this topic. It's not being talked about a lot over the last 2 days, AI. So,
What is AI?
I don't know. You want to tell everyone a little bit more about what Talent Llama does?
Yeah, so we are an AI interviewing platform, and we help companies expertly screen every applicant for any skill. We're helping with digital transformation at the top of the funnel and building relationships and hanging out with cool people like Trent.
I don't know about that. But I am going to embarrass you for a little bit because I know something that probably not a lot of other people know because I had you on the podcast. What did you do before this?
So I'm a software engineer by education, and I've had a few other startups. My first one was essentially Salesforce for gyms. Moved into health and wellness tracking, which is where I met Ben, my co-founder, and this is technically my fourth startup.
Yeah. So yeah, he's jacked. Just just so you guys know, he's jacked.
Coming from you, that I don't know.
I don't know. I got to keep up. Keep up. So why don't we dive in? Because I know you're in the thick of what's really going on in AI. What has surprised you the most about 2025?
Well, I can say we just went to HR Tech and RecFest now. There are certainly a lot of new AI products, and almost every space is like packed with competition.
Mm-hmm.
So sourcing, resume screening, AI interviewing. I have seen a few others, believe it or not. There's just a lot of people starting companies, I guess.
Yeah, but is it a lot of sizzle, not a lot of steak?
I do think, there is some of this like vibe coding and vibe company building almost that it is very easy to build a quick solution or a quick prototype to a lot of the problems that we're all trying to solve. Put a nice branding, website together, get a nice booth, make it all look good. So I think that's kind of why you're seeing more competition, because standing all that stuff up now is much easier than it's typically been.
Yeah. And so just, you said vibe coding. I used to recruit and be in tech, so I know what that means, but tell everyone what you mean by vibe coding.
Yeah, there are some new tools out there, such as V0.dev, Lovable is another one.
Cursor,
yeah.
Windsurf, is that?
Windsurf, yeah, absolutely. And there's many more. And they essentially let you type in an idea for an app or a business or something or a web page, and it generates all the code for you and gives you a working prototype within a few seconds. So It's amazing. We do it. We use it at Talent Llama for prototyping and testing out ideas.
Oh, it's perfect for that kind of stuff.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's saved us a ton of time and money. So I fully support the use of it. But there is, that's the answer to your question, I guess.
So do you ever think, so when you're talking about being able to take something from concept to, basic wireframes, kind of getting an idea, do you think that there's some things that we could learn from vibe coding and put vibe recruiting, like from an experience standpoint?
Yes. I think, you might have just come up with a business idea, so write that one down.
I am. I'll get you to help me found it.
But, I think the recruiting world, when I think vibe, if I was trying to make an analogy, I don't think you can prompt your way into a recruiting pipeline yet.
Not yet.
Directly just one prompt, get the whole thing, get all the tools you need, all the workflows, the relationships you have to build, that's not going to come from prompt, I don't think, yet. So I would think of it more as being able to quickly try different processes.
Yeah.
If you could figure out a way to live in a world where you have an idea for a new way to bring in candidates or to interview candidates, or a new source of people you want to go after, if you can quickly spin up something to try it and give you that validation that, this actually is a good idea, that to me would be kind of like vibe recruiting, right? And then you still have to put in, we can talk about the downsides, I guess, of this concept, right? And what it's good for and what it's bad for. But I guess that's how I would make the parallel over to recruiting.
Well, and it makes sense. at iCIMS, we're actually looking at the 3 different personas because in most, on the applicant tracking side, most have been designed first for HRIS integration primary. Then they would start being concerned about the recruiter. Then let's care about the candidate, but we're losing the hiring manager. So I think that, kind of taking that vibe approach at all 3 of those different personas.
Yes.
What could recruiting look like in the future?
Yeah, I mean, what could it look like? I see it as a building blocks, kind of like an assembly line and building blocks, right? So, there's going to be some type of pipeline where people are funnel. It's starting at the top and we're whittling down to the best candidates. There's different people involved, and they're all going to have different actions that they need to take on that pipeline. So, yeah, I think each of those actions can be a separate tool, or it can be a feature within a product, but you're going to have, it's almost just like Legos, right? If it gets that easy where you can just like kind of drag and drop things around, build whatever workflow you want. Yeah, we're getting closer to that, I think, by the day.
So kind of like the Minority Report, just being able to kind of move things around in recruiting.
The advanced glass touchscreen, maybe.
That would be awesome. That would be awesome.
In general, yeah.
So let's look forward to 2026. What are your predictions, and what are you all working on?
I think so. Predictions for anything specific, or just
wide open.
Well, I think we are going to see big businesses fully adopting AI and going through major transformation in terms of just how they're going to operate, at least for the next 5 to 10 years. Things are changing very fast right now, but
and there's actually an interesting data point. I hate to interrupt you,
go
but
ahead.
There is data to support that. I can't remember who it came from, but they said in 2025, 75% of enterprise level companies are going to move from testing and prototyping to operationalizing AI. So it definitely supports your prediction there.
Absolutely, yeah. I also think we are going to finally stop using the word AI as like as something that helps you, in any way, because honestly, it's lost all its value at this point. There was a great talk here about how reframing it as automation versus AI will all of a sudden the legal team starts saying that's fine. The compliance team, there's no AI, so these are all go ahead, everything go through, and so we've had AI in our systems for years, right?
That's the funny thing.
Years,
yeah,
at least.
Everybody thinks like, oh, this is a new thing. It's really not.
Yeah, so there's been a panic. There's fear mongering. We've overcorrected. I feel like we're going to start going back, and that's just when you see big companies spending money on yearly contracts for these tools, then you realize
it tells you something.
We're now past that phase of like fear and testing and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So I think 2026 is that year. We started 2 years ago. We got a bunch of we're not allowed to use AI in our first year. In our second year, we started selling pilots and people ready to really try this stuff. And now it's multi-year contracts, and we're seeing other parallel products that have been here much longer than us kind of go through those. They're also kind of now there's a sigh of relief, we're able to really roll this thing out and use this at big companies. So
awesome.
Yeah.
We've actually I sat down with our chief legal officer and chief compliance officer, because in my one-on-one with her whenever I joined, she made a comment that she went to this AI legal conference with just a bunch of lawyers, and one of the questions that was asked is, whenever it comes to HR and TA tech, how many of you are okay with it being used? She said only a third, or something like that. Only a third raised their hand. And so she started asking the other attorneys, why are you just adamantly against it? He said, no one in HR or TA or the business has pushed me enough to say, I've got to have this for X, Y, or Z business reasons. So it was really interesting. I was like, got to get you on. So we actually did a fireside chat. So make sure that you check that out if you're running into issues with your legal team. So
nice.
Wrapping up, looking at your company, what's in store for 2026?
Yeah, so we have a bunch of really cool product releases coming up.
Can you give us the?
Yeah, I mean, one is around the interview experience itself. It's a fully hands-off, great, an upgraded voice options, and so more customization and ease of interviewing, I'd say. We have a ton of new integrations that we're rolling out with some additional ATS platforms, some multi-channel interviewing, so interviewing over text, interviewing over phone, a ton more that I'm forgetting right now. We have a huge roadmap.
That's good.
But,
it's good. Leave the audience wanting more. That's how you're supposed to do it.
And I think that outside of the product, we just hired a customer success lead. We are heavily investing in our current customers and making sure they are going to turn into long-term relationships, and looking for more companies too that want to take that journey with us and really experience. It's more than just software. It is a full digital transformation service of your top of the funnel and set you up for the next 10 years.
I love it.
At least.
I love it.
Right.
So where can people find more about Talent Llama, connect with you?
Yeah, we're all over LinkedIn, really. So feel free to just connect with me directly on LinkedIn. You can go to talentllama.ai just to get some general info, and then schedule some time to meet with us if you're interested in doing a deep dive.
Awesome. Well, I've had Adam on my podcast. I love him and his team. So definitely, if you're trying to solve for this problem, go and give them a shout out and check them out. So stay tuned. We will pick this up in just a minute.
Thanks so much, Trent. Love you too.